Good morning everyone. I welcome you all for today's session. So in this session also we'll be going with a problem on numerical methods, that is analytical method of solving complex stresses. Right, so I have taken up a problem which is a bit different when compared to the previous ones. So let us start with today's video lecture. Right, a point in a machine member is subjected to shear stress of magnitude 60 Newton per mm square. Determine principal stresses and the orientations of their planes. Second bit is maximum and minimum shear stresses and orientations of their planes. And at last it is stress acting on a plane which is at an angle of 40 degrees with respect to vertical plane, and sketch the stresses. Right, so this is the problem given to us. He has not given us any diagram. So first let me start the solution by drawing this diagram. Right, I have drawn an element such that it is subjected to pure shear stress of 60 Newton per mm square. 60 Newton per mm square. Normal stresses are not there. Then using this bit number 3, he is telling that there is an plane at an angle of 40 degrees with respect to vertical plane. So the blue colored line is nothing but the oblique plane at an angle of 40 degrees with respect to the vertical plane. So the vertical plane, I have taken this as a reference plane. Right, so I have taken this plane as a reference plane. So to start with, the first point, that is calculation of principal stresses. We know that the formula is sigma x plus sigma y divided by 2 plus or minus under root of sigma x minus sigma y divided by 2 the whole square plus tau xy square. Right, now here the important thing to be noted here is normal stresses are not given. It means that its value is 0. So ये जो term है directly 0 हो जाएगा. Even this term will become 0. So the only remaining term under root is tau xy square. And if I substitute the value of tau xy square as 60, I will be getting the normal stresses as plus or minus 60 Newton per mm square. Right, now the important twist in the problem here is I have been asked to find out the orientations of the principal plane. Now how we are going to find it? There is a small twist. So let us go through that. So we know that for calculating the orientation of the principal stress, we always use the formula theta p is equal to 1 by 2 tan inverse 2 tau xy divided by sigma x minus sigma y. But the problem here is this term cannot be used because sigma x and sigma y, both the values are not known. If he has not given, then it means that it is 0. And if denominator is becoming 0, then how I will find out the value of theta p? That is the biggest question which will be happening here, or which will be encountering here. Right, so in order to resolve this problem, I have come up with a different approach. So what is that approach? Let us go through that. Okay, the approach what I will be using here is very simple. I will be simply making use of the definition of the principal stress. What is the definition of a principal stress? Principal stress is the stress or principal plane. Let me speak about principal plane, then we will go to principal stress. Principal plane is a plane on which the value of shear stress will be equal to 0. Right? I hope all of you agree. Principal plane is a plane on which the value of shear stress will be equal to 0. So now if I take this equation, tau is equal to minus of sigma x minus sigma y divided by 2 into sine 2 theta plus tau xy into cos 2 theta. Right, so this is the equation for shear stress on an oblique plane. But according to the definition of the principal plane, the value of shear stress will be 0. The value of shear stress will be 0. The value of shear stress will be 0 on the principal plane. Right? And also in this problem, this term becomes 0. This term becomes 0. Why? Sigma x, sigma y values are not given. It means it is 0. Right? So what I can say here, when your left hand side is equal to 0, now it implies that tau xy into cos 2 theta is equal to 0. Right, now you just give it a thought. Can tau xy be equated to 0? Shear stress 0 हो सकता है? नहीं, because he has given the value of shear stress in the problem 60. So tau xy 0 नहीं हो सकता. Right, therefore the only thing which can be 0 is, therefore cos 2 theta can become 0. Cos 2 theta can become 0. Therefore 2 theta is equal to cos inverse 0. Cos inverse 0. So let me check out what is cos inverse 0. Shift cos inverse 0. It is 90 degree. 90 degree. Right? So therefore 2 theta value is coming out to be 90 degree. So therefore theta P1 will be equal to 45 degrees. Theta P1 will be equal to 45 degrees. I told you the reason. What is the reason? Theta is equal to 90 divided by 2, so that is 45 degrees. So that I'll take it as theta P1, and theta P2 will be equal to theta P1 plus 90, that will be equal to 135 degrees. Right? So this gives me the location of the principal plane. Right? So this is very important. When your normal formula is failing, you are going to take up this value of shear stress on an oblique plane, use the definition of the principal stress, and then you are going to calculate the location of the principal planes. Right? So that is the reason this problem is important. Next we will be going for the second bit. I have been asked to find out the maximum and minimum shear stress and their orientations. Right? So we know that maximum and minimum shear stress, I told you, tau max comma tau min, or it is written as tau 1 comma 2. It is given by plus or minus square root of sigma x minus sigma y divided by 2 the whole square plus tau xy square. Right? Plus tau xy square. So this gives me the value of tau max and tau min. Once again, in this, since x and y are missing, this term will be 0. Whereas this term exists, tau xy will always be there because its value is given to me. So therefore, tau max comma tau min will be equal to tau 1 comma 2 will be equal to plus or minus 60 Newton per mm square, 60 Newton per mm square. Right? So that is the value of maximum and minimum shear stresses, and the value of theta S1, value of orientations, theta S1 will be equal to 0 degree and theta S2 will be equal to 90 degree. Right? How I have written it? Because applied shear stress itself is the maximum and minimum shear stress. I will write here because applied shear stress itself is the minimum and maximum shear stress. Right? Because of this reason theta S1 is 0 and theta S2 is 90 degree. Right? I hope things are clear. I will make it more clear if I show you this particular diagram. Right? Now you just concentrate. So this is 0 degree tau xy, yes, and this tau xy is 90 degree. So if I take x-axis as reference, so it is 0 and this is 90 degree. If I take this as reference plane, so along this it is 0 and along this it is 90 degree. Right? So now we will be going to bit number 3, where I will be calculating the stresses on the oblique plane So we know that normal stress is given by sigma x plus sigma y divided by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y divided by 2 cos of 2 theta plus tau xy sine of 2 theta, right? So whatever are the values known, you put it, this term 0, this term 0. I will not be repeating the reasons because I told you sigma x sigma y is not given. So therefore sigma n is equal to, what is the value of tau xy? Now you be careful with this sign, you be careful with the sign. Okay, now you check the sign. This is my reference plane. With respect to reference plane, what is the direction of, with reference to the reference plane, what is the direction of the shear stress, right? So the direction of the shear stress, one which is moving up along the reference plane, it is trying to rotate the reference plane in this direction. It is trying to rotate the reference plane in this direction. Which is this direction? This direction is anti-clockwise direction. This is anti-clockwise direction. So for anti-clockwise direction, I need to take the value of tau as negative. I need to take the value of tau as negative, right? So and also the value of theta, value of theta should be taken as positive. Why I should take it as positive? The reason is simple. This is my reference plane. This is my reference plane. If I rotate this up to this point, it becomes my oblique plane. This was my reference plane. If I rotate this up to this point, it becomes oblique plane, right? So in what direction I am rotating, that is important. I am going to rotate this in this direction. I have also shown the arrow mark, right? So that is clockwise direction. So clockwise theta is positive and shear stress on this plane is negative, right? So now I will substitute the values. Okay, by substituting the values, we will be getting tau xy is minus 60 into sine of 2 into theta is positive. Theta is positive. So therefore sigma n value, let me check out what is the value of sigma n. So it is minus 60 sine of 80. So minus 59.08, minus 59.08, 59.08 Newton per mm square, right? And similarly I need to find out shear stress on the oblique plane. Shear stress on the oblique plane is given by minus of sigma x minus sigma y divided by 2 into sine of 2 theta plus tau of xy into cos of 2 theta, cos of 2 theta. Now once again this term will directly become 0. Reason I told you, value of sigma x and sigma y are not known. So therefore tau on the oblique plane is given by value of tau xy is minus 60 into cos of 2 into 40, cos of 2 into 40. So let me check out what will be this value. Tau is equal to minus 60 into cos of 80. So it is minus 10.418, minus 10.418 Newton per mm square, right? So that's it. That is the stresses required in bit number 3, right? So that's the end of the problem. Go through the problem, right? If you are having any doubt, please let me know. Have a good day. Take care.